Hey, hey, hey. Waiting on y'all to come on in. And I just text my guest for her to come on in. Let's see. Instagram told me to hold on. It's telling more followers to join. And I appreciate y'all for that. Hey, London. Thank you for coming back. Well, I'm going to start, even though my guest is not here. That way, when she gets here, I can. Thank you, girl. You think I'm cute? Thanks. So let me tell you, first of all, let me start by saying my name because I need to start each one of these like that. My name is Andromeda and I am the creator of Gumbo. And tonight's featured shirt is Perfect Pussy because it is. And I just need y'all to know that. And if yours is, and you want people to know, hit their website, www.gumbo.com. And let me just tell y'all why I got on makeup tonight. Because normally, don't get used to this because this ain't gonna be popping all the time. I'm only wearing makeup because I'm sleepy. I actually am pulled over on the side of the road in Vicksburg, Virginia, behind my guest is here. In Vicksburg, Virginia, behind Vicksburg, Mississippi, because there is a Virginia. I'm not in Virginia, but I'm in Vicksburg, Mississippi, headed back to Texas from Atlanta. So I just had to stop in this Wendy's parking lot to do this episode because I said I was going to do one and I ain't going to let y'all down. So let me bring my guest in while I ramble. Tonight's guest is Miss Dicey, stand-up comedian, producer, actor, and all other things great. And she is going to be on here giving us the real. This backdrop, y'all, is pinned to the roof of the car. So if this backdrop fall, this some ghetto ass shit. It's all right. I'm doing what I can to make it do what it do for you. I'm giving y'all what needs to be gave. And you just gonna deal. Cause this where we at with it. And there's Dicey.
Hey, girl.
Hey girl, you look cute.
Thanks. What's going on?
Nothing. What's going on with you?
Well, I'm in Denison, Texas. It's like an hour and a half away from Dallas. I'm here visiting my grandparents. My grandmother fell earlier this week, or maybe last week, and then my grandfather, he has anyway, he's in the hospital. So I'm here like standing in the gap for my mom's sisters and brothers who can't be here till the weekend. So I'm gonna be here all weekend basically. So where are you at?
I'm in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Driving back from Atlanta.
Oh, how was Atlanta?
I don't know. We didn't get to do. We was working, so
Oh,
I stopped and saw my mom for like 10 minutes and I just waved from the doorway because COVID and I ain't trying to infect my
oh.
family. And I went to see my dad, same thing, waved from the doorway because
What
COVID.
were you there working on?
My best friend is actually working. She was doing
Oh,
stuff for her 501c3, taking some pictures for Brown Girls Do Ballet. So I just rode along.
oh
Well,
yeah,
drove.
interview with her. That's really cool. So I know who she is. That's cool. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into your interview because I know you have things to do. Sorry about what with your grandparents. That's all
Yeah.
going out though because 2020 ain't fuck 2020. Anyway, so tell us about yourself.
Well, what would you like to know? Let's see. I live in Los Angeles most of the time. I've been in Dallas for the pandemic since March, and which has been interesting. You know, I love stand-up comedy is like my life, and to not be able to do it for this past like 10 months almost has been crazy. But I've still, done some shows. I've still traveled and I've had some shows here and there. And a lot of people have put me on their shows, but I just didn't go because of COVID, So that's kind of let's see, what else about me? I do nails. I've been doing a couple celebrity nails lately. Bob the drag queen. I don't know if you know who he is. He won, um,
Drag-
he won the drag race. So I've been doing his nails, his press on nails, and I've sent him several pair that he loves and that he's using for it. So I think I'm just gonna concentrate on the press on. part of it. But in the meantime, here in Dallas, I have been doing nails in my sister's barn. So yeah, which is interesting.
So how can people reach out to you to get your press-ons?
Well, I'm so they're not even available yet. I just like found the packaging that I really like. Um, and what I'm about to do now is figure out I have an Etsy page for them. So I'm probably gonna start do all that after the holidays. I finally ordered everything I need. It's just taking me with all the other stuff I got going on. It's taking me so long to get that together, and I don't know why, because that's money, and I could, but whatever. So I'm just, getting my life together, basically.
Okay.
Story.
So you are also a producer. You can
Yes.
tell us about some of your projects, past, present, and future.
Okay. So I'm part owner of a production company in downtown LA. It's called Bed Productions, and we produce, quality Black content, basically, that we sell to TV networks, and that we produce in-house ourselves as well in different shows. And we also it's a podcast studio as well, so we have a lot of different people that do our podcast there. The Did You Miss Me podcast broadcast there quite often when they're all three in town. And we a lot of other podcasts. Hip Hop Weekly does their stuff there. What's the other, Comedy Hype? They do a lot. They do stuff there. So we've been just getting ourselves out there as far as that's concerned. And so I'm producing right now. I have some shows at some major networks, and I've also created maybe 10 shows since I've been here in Dallas, and I've been shooting all the, what am I trying to say? My brain is so foggy. I had some vodka before this. Sorry. uh I was shooting what are they called? Like the proof of concepts, or like a trailer or whatever, for each of my project, for each of the things that I want to sell to networks. And I'm just just keeping my shit together, trying to maneuver through this pandemic, because the entertainment industry is going to be totally different now. Like, I love LA. I've been there for 19 years, and I never could see myself living anywhere else until now. Like, just seeing how easy it is to live other places. And then on top of that, I don't think that the world is going to ever be the same again.
It's not. Absolutely not.
Hey, and that's my cousin that just joined. Hey. My cousin Armani, y'all gotta look her up. Like, she is so damn gorgeous. I just was looking at this. She just, oh my God, you just have to see her. Like, it's not many bitches this more. Not just because she's my cousin either, but she is literally gorgeous. And we're working together right now. That's another project that I'm working on, is a web series for me. And, well, I don't want to say web series, but something to that effect, with me and her. And we have several kind of big people attached to it already, which is really cool. So I'm really excited to do that with her. We're going to start that in January. So whether COVID's over or not, I'm going to be in LA in January working on this project, because we both need something to, put ourselves on a little more. So, yeah.
Now, I want to touch on something that you have stopped doing, but that I love, and that I would send people to your page to watch, because I would share cooking with Dicey. You have got to start cooking with Dicey again, y'all. It's the most ghetto ass shit I have ever seen in my life, but it is the most amazing. If you want to see a ghetto ass chef that's making some delicious food, when she starts back with cooking with Dicey, please watch. She needs a show.
Yeah.
How she give y'all the recipes? It's so the
You know,
recipe go like, so I got some motherfucking basil. I'm putting this shit in it.
my grandma just came in, so I'm putting my mask on for a second.
This is
Um, but
possible.
I love to cook, and that's something my mom didn't even really know about me till I came home. Like, I would always try to get her to let me cook, when I would come home sometimes, and she would be like, no, no. And then plus, I really enjoyed her cooking too. So when I came and she was able to see like all the stuff that I do and cook, she was like, oh my God, like now she wants me to cook everything. And so yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I ended up I did. Hey, comedian, nail tech, chef. I use my hands. I'm good with my hands.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I really enjoy cooking stuff fresh out of my mom's garden, which is the best to have a garden in the backyard. You've been over there. You've seen.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all, her mom is a master gardener, and the garden is called Garden of Feeding,
Mhm.
and everything in it is top notch. It's organic. I want to say
Yeah,
organic because y'all
organic.
are vegan, pescatarian,
Yes.
vegetarian over there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in the Dallas area, they're often around the city selling like jams that her mom makes. What else
Yeah.
does your mom make?
So we out of the pickles, out of the cucumbers she grows, she makes pickles, which are the number one seller. We cannot keep the pickles. Like the pickles go so fast. So that's like the number one seller. The jellies, our number one selling jelly is the peach lavender jam, and then we have mango habanero. We have so many different kinds of combinations, and we're putting more together now to just have and to sell. And she's now putting a lot of the stuff in her baskets and the gift baskets that she has. So that's cool.
Okay. So before we move on to the second half of the show, which is the portion that I love that I created, is there anything else you would like to share with the people about what you have going on? Any projects you're working on, any stand up you have coming up, virtual shows, anything?
Um, well, stand up is good. I'm excited to get back on tour with the Did You Miss Me podcast. We'll be going back out pretty soon. I host their tour. That's very fun. Me and Billy have been really good friends for like 20 years. So that's one of the highlights of my stand up thing, the stand up that I do. Or that's one of the highlights coming up, that I'm just glad I'm going to be able to get back to it and get back on stage. Nothing else really is going on stand up wise, but I do have a show with my brother called the Brother John reality show, and y'all should follow that on Instagram. And he's just nuts. I've been wanting to do a show with him forever. Like it's crazy. I just can't believe how nuts my brother is. And nobody knows much about my family until I think I came home, and I've just been putting them on my stories. And I have so many different kind of people that watch my stories. I can't even believe it. Just I can't, because of my brother, basically. So that's it.
Okay. So second half of the show is where we talk about all things about you being a complete woman, well-rounded, multifaceted. Gumbo is a brand that I created that symbolizes women can be everything they are on the inside and exuded on the outside to the world. Because for so long, Black women specifically, which is what my brand is geared to, Black women and other women of color. So for so long, we have hidden who we are sexually. We've been over sexualized in the media and even within our own communities, and basically made to be ashamed of who we are sexually. So we kind of hide our bedroom mannerisms and the things that we enjoy in an effort to keep from being judged. So I wanted to create something, hence the t-shirt Perfect Pussy. I wanted to create a website where women can go and find shirts that are both wholesome and wholesome. So hence the gumbo, which spells hoe at the end, because we are a mixture of all kinds of ingredients. Some of them are whole, some of them are hoe. Some, and you can be both of those at the same time. So my shirts are for women that are both and aren't afraid to say it. So with that being said, um how do you feel about your sexuality and your sexual behavior? You can go as deep as you want to or be as shallow as you want. What do you think of when you think of sexuality as far as the Black woman and yourself and the things you enjoy?
First of all, Damien, hey, Adrian, that's my god sister who has a nail polish line that I work with a lot called Did, and she's just been named speaking of women empowerment, she's been named one of the top Black beauty brands by Cosmo. So, and Damien,
Okay.
he's a brilliant director, whatever, who is trying to be all in my business right now. He got all kind of stuff going on. He got all kind of sponsors, whatever, blah blah. Y'all need to meet because y'all are into the same kind of stuff. So okay, sexuality and me. I have been very free in the past. I don't know that I subscribe to anything that is like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, biblical stuff, basically, like how they, they. I feel like a lot of the things in the Bible were written by gay men who have always hated real women. You know what I mean? And that it has started there when we were all born naked. You know what I mean? Like we were all. It's just. Um, I don't really talk about my sex life much, but um I I don't know. Give me some questions. Ask me something. Ask me something you want to know.
Well, I don't want to ask you something that you don't want to discuss. So, okay.
I'll just say no.
Okay. So, as far as in the bedroom, do you believe that what are things that you are just not going to do?
I don't like anything dealing with my asshole. Sorry, my grandma's in the other room, but I'm not into anal. Not so much.
Okay, well, don't take it up the butt. That's fine. You ain't got to put it in your booty.
I don't like that. Everything else is pretty free. I mean,
Do you welcome other people more than just your partner?
um depending on the partner, I'm open to that kind of thing. Just depending on the situation and who it is, you know.
Okay.
So, yeah.
When would you say in your life was a turning point where you decided you did not subscribe to traditional views of sex and sexuality?
I think probably right out of okay. So first, I signed a contract with Jesus in I think I was like in the 11th grade or 10th grade or something at church.
You did
Um,
what?
I signed a contract with Jesus. It was a promise letter that they made us sign, and they gave us a ring that we wouldn't have premarital sex or whatever. And I got to college, and that that wasn't the case anymore at all.
Okay.
So that's kind of when I guess, a lot of things open up for you in college when you are introduced to other religions, to other people that are older than you. You know what I mean? That because at my school, it was plenty of way older people. It was like more of I went to University of Houston, which is a transient school. Like a lot of people live in Houston and go there, and they're all ages. And I had all ages of friends from like, and my parents used to laugh at me. They'd be like, you will talk to anybody. Like I had 50-year-old friends who would tell me stuff, and just all that kind of stuff is just real interesting. Best opening of Instagram today. All
Well,
thanks.
thank you. Every week. Well, not next 2 weeks because holidays coming up. I'm taking a break.
Okay. Okay, good.
But back to the question. So when did you realize I ain't subscribing to this bullshit?
It was in college. It was probably my freshman year of college that I realized that, there's just way more to everything than what was in DeSoto, Texas.
So what was the first thing you did after realizing I ain't with this, I'm with that?
Okay, so the this doesn't have anything to do with sex, but this is still funny. And the first thing I did when I got to college, speaking of being free, I met like 7 girls in the elevator, and this is like my parents had left probably like 15 minutes before, and I met them in the elevator, and they were like, "Hey, we're going to get tattoos." And I didn't even know any of their names hardly. Like we all introduced ourselves, blah blah. The next thing I know, we're all in this little Nissan Sentra, and my friends now, they were all, it was like 4 of them squished up in the back because we were all skinny back then. And then I just laid over everybody's lap and went and we got tattoos. That was the first 15 minutes I was in college. So yeah.
Okay. I think that is pretty much it because I don't want to hold you because I want you to be able to be there with your family and make sure your grandparents are okay. So the final thing that I ask all of my guests to do is if you had to leave the women, black women of the world with something that you feel empowers them, because that's what Gumbo is all about, empowering black women to be themselves, their whole selves, and be okay with their sexual side as long as their professional side, and know that those two can intermingle and you can still be seen as a boss ass bitch
Mm.
and it's okay.
Hey,
So,
that's Mason Pryor that just joined too.
hi, Mason Pryor. Thank you for coming.
Uh,
So, what would you say
right?
to
You said what?
women and even young women that are growing up and trying to come into themselves and know who they are and be okay with who they are, whether it be gay, straight, bi, even any letter of the LGBTQIA plus community, because I'm trying to learn those alphabets and learn what everybody has going on and be respectful and be open and non-judgmental, because do what you do, but watch my shoes.
Right.
Um, so, what would you say to anyone, but like I said, specifically Black women, young Black women coming up who may be unsure of themselves or unsure of if who they are is okay and if it should be okay?
Well, so my favorite movie is the Muppet movie. I know every single word to this movie, and so does my sister and brother. And that's something like that would be so funny for us to do one day, is just to sit up and go live and watch the Muppet movie. But at the end of the movie, they have a song that I live by. And the words are: life's like a movie, write your own ending, keep believing, keep pretending. You've done just what you've set out to do, thanks to the lovers, the dreamers, and you. And I love that so much. And I feel like just, just knowing that you're born for a purpose, knowing that you have a reason to be here, whether it's something that we just all are destined to be here. We all have a reason. And just keep going on, keep believing, keep pretending. Like, just do whatever it is that you know what it is that you want to do. You know what you set out to do, and do it. And don't make excuses for it. So that's my that's one of my favorite that I would leave you with.
Okay. So, finally, if you could just tell everyone where to find you on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any social media that you have where everyone can find you and see what you have going on and just keep up with you.
So
I,
I run like 4 different pages right now for my family, and I'm just now getting to be good at it. So I'm Dicey approved, Dicey approved. That's my main page. But I also run the Garden of Feeding page, like you were saying. That's the Garden of Feeding LLC, and I've started a really dope reality show with my mom too, and I'm gonna put the first episode out sometime next week. And because it's a couple producers interested in buying her show, which is interesting, and she doesn't even have a show yet. But that's another one. Then Brother John reality show, and then my nail page, which is Dicey_nails. So any of those, but you can just follow Dicey approved and see all that stuff somewhere on my page. So.
well, there you have it, everyone. Thank you so much, Dicey, for coming on. I love you so much. And
We'll
get together and watch Muppets. Just schedule me in when you get back to Dallas. You know, I'm always down to come over and have a good time.
okay.
So go ahead and go back. I'm going to wrap up with everyone that is still here. And I love you. And I will see you next time.
Bye. Thanks for having
Bye.
me.
Okay, everyone. So thank you for coming. As you can see, I am still on the road. I was on the road on Monday. But luckily I made it to my hotel. I am driving back to Dallas. Hence my ghetto ass setup, where you can see the roof of the car that I have thumbtacked my backdrop to. I have no shame. I wanted to make sure I did as I said I would do. This trip was last minute for me, but I was not going to cancel my episode. I want to be a brand that is consistent. And when I say I'm going to be here, I am going to be here, and I'm going to be on. Again, don't expect this makeup next week or any other week. I'm going to be barefaced, just like I was barefaced last week and the week before that and the week before that. I'm only wearing this makeup because I'm sleepy and I have dark circles under my eyes and bags too. But as soon as these gone, this makeup gone, because I'm not that chick, but I am this chick. So if you want this shirt and any other merchandise that I have, head on over to my website, www.gumboheaux.com. Feel free, if you're new here, please follow my page at Gumbo. It's the same thing on Instagram. Same thing on YouTube. I don't have anything on my YouTube just yet, but I will be taking these videos and loading them over there. If you want to follow my personal Instagram page, it is One Act Drama, the number 1. ACTDRAMA. Again, my name is Andromeda, and I am the creator of the Gumbo brand. And I hope to see you back here after the new year, because I'm going to take a break for the holidays. Next week is Christmas, the week after is New Year. So I won't be here. I don't plan to be here. But if I am here, I won't have a guest. I'm here every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then every once in a while, I will throw you a MCM on Mondays. Those won't be planned. It'll just be random because I don't want to commit to MCM, because after all, my show, my podcast is all about Black women and the things we love and sometimes the things we hate. So I hope to see you coming back in the new year. I have some amazing guests lined up. I have a radio personality. I have another comedian. I have an OBGYN scheduled. I have a diversity specialist scheduled who does TED Talks all over this country by the name of Amber Cabral. I have a human resources a lady that runs the human resources for HR. She's a senior director of HR for Amazon. So she can talk to you about how to get a job with Amazon and the things that go into that. I have a sex therapist that is going to be on the show. I have so many amazing Black women who are really doing things and moving and shaking in their communities and the communities around them. I hope you will come back and join me. And if I don't come back next week or the week after on a personal video, happy holidays and have a happy new year. Thanks for coming.